You are not going to believe me when I tell you this, but I swear it's true. I was outside eating a rose when all of a sudden I saw Mariah the shrimp infected with a blood-sucking parasite. I picked up Mariah and I began my procedure. I slowly and carefully removed the huge female isopod from her gills. But the pesky little white male decided to stay behind, so I had to get him out too. After I was done for the day, I took all the parasites and yeeted them to Franklin the sea chicken and his family.
I was outside licking a huge cockle when I realized that I was late for my shrimp surgery with Charlie. So I put my cockle in my pocket and ran to my patient. Sure enough, Charlie was infected with an invasive blood-sucking isopod parasite. This thing was living on her gills and draining Charlie of her shrimp blood and nutrients. It was also preventing her from making babies. Not today, parasite. I quickly removed it, and behold, it was a big chunky female and two really small white males. I yeeted them to a hungry death chicken and set Charlie free. You are not going to believe me when I tell you this, but I swear it's true. I found a ginormous jellyfish laying on the beach trying to die, so I quickly picked it up, gave it a kiss, and yeeted it back to the ocean. But right after, I realized I was late for my shrimp surgery with Stacy. I got to my appointment just in time, because Stacy was about to walk out of the office. I picked her up and examined her for parasites, and sure enough, she was infested. I quickly and very carefully began removing the infectious isopod parasite from Stacy's gills. Don't worry, Stacy, I'll have you feeling better in no time. Right afterwards, I yeeted the parasite into the compost, set Stacy free. I was removing a giant bird feather from my eye when all of a sudden I saw something squirming in a muddy hole. I had absolutely no idea what it was, so I shoved my hand in to find out. Turns out, it was a shrimp named Rihanna. She had a pulsating, invasive parasite living in her gills, literally sucking the life out of her. I gently removed the festering isopod, yeeted it to my good friend Franklin the sea chicken. This is Shoshana, a Eubogibia mud shrimp who came to my office complaining about side pain. I took one quick look and knew exactly what the problem was. Shoshana, you're infected with an invasive parasite. Shoshana's heard of these parasites from all of her friends who's had them, but she never thought she'd get one herself. Don't worry, Shoshana, tons of shrimp get these. It's not a big deal. I removed the parasite, yeeted it to my good friend Franklin the sea chicken, but he didn't want it. So I tossed it in the compost, set my shrimpy baby free. I found what appeared to be a delicious sea brick, so I decided to give it a taste. Turns out, it was just a regular brick. Afterwards, I saw a bunch of my shrimpy children laying down, not moving. I gave them some pokes, but realized they were all infected with pulsating, grotesque parasites. I began removing the parasite from Annie. After I took it out, I tried to give Annie a high five, but she must have been brainwashed from the parasite because she pinched me. Next up was Sammy, but she was scared, so I gave her some pets and told her that everything would be okay. I lifted up her gill flap, and there it was, another disgusting parasite. I used my little flippy technique and rolled the parasite right out. Good Shrimpy. See, it wasn't so bad. Last but certainly not least was my good friend Macy, as you can see, and she has a parasite that you can see through her gill flap. We're gonna get this parasite removed, Macy. That way you're able to have kids one day. And I know people are gonna say, what about the parasites? Don't their lives matter? Well, yes, parasites are important in the ecosystem, but not when they're invasive. They're causing the shrimp to go extinct, and that's just not cool. So here's some shrimpy revenge. We're gonna take these parasites, yeet them into the compost bin, set our shrimpy friends free. I was enjoying some wild sea spaghetti when all of a sudden I realized I'm late for my shrimp surgery with Cardi. So I put the spaghetti in my pocket and ran to my office. And sure enough, Cardi was waiting with a huge, bulging gill flap. I got out my tweezies and began the operation. This isopod parasite was so big that it was extremely difficult to remove from the gill flap. Imagine if you were Cardi. If you were to scale this parasite to the size to fit a human, it would be like having a watermelon-sized parasite on your rib cage. Imagine how that would feel. Well, let's get this parasite removed once and for all. But wait, there's more. We gotta remove the little male parasite as well. Now just look at him. Look at them! We'll yeet these parasites into the compost, set Cardi free, and be sure to like and follow if you love ocean animals.